What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Bitcoin today, BTC USD. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it, all right? It is the 25th day of August, and here we are at about 4 hours, 36 minutes left in this day, this wonderful day here, sitting at about $112,000, just below there, with the lowest low that we've seen really since July 10th. The lowest low being at about $110,500. Now, if we look at the liquidation levels, I haven't refreshed this, right? So the shorts, the longs, it might look a little bit different. I actually want to look at this. There's 1 billion there. There's about a total of 3.2. Let's see how this looks whenever I refresh it. 3.2, 1 billion to that nearest block. Oh my God. The shorts have, okay, so there's about 3 billion still, but there's a lot of longs. Man, that's not good. That's not normally good. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor. But you guys, if we keep moving down, I was just saying this the other day about moving up, right? If we're moving up and the shorts keep piling on, that's really good. If we're moving down and the longs are piling on, that's not good. That's really not that good at all. There's a lot of longs piled on here at this $111,000 level, or sorry, $110,000 is what that is there. Let's look at the last 7 days too. We might not be done. We'll look at the short-term stuff. We don't have to go down, right? Just because there's $3 billion of longs, $8,000 doesn't mean that we have to go that low, right? Maybe we only go to 110K. Maybe we don't go lower at all. We could reverse from here. But again, I just looking at this here, you know, if this was a flash crash, we're not having the right reaction, the proper reaction off of that. You know, maybe a double bottom, this could be it. But again, if this is a double bottom, if this is to be a tweezer bottom low, we should have a proper reaction off of this and come back up. We should probably be closing this day green, right? If we don't move up at least by tomorrow, if we're not up above where this day closed, it's very likely that we go lower. Just looking at this in my opinion right now. So we're back on the idea of going lower. That doesn't mean that that's what the final verdict will be. Let's look at the charts before we get into that. But I'm just thinking, man, maybe that's what it'll take. We've got a ton of shorts piled on. There's still a lot of longs piled on too, but the shorts outweigh it by far. But with this little bit of neutrality here on the daily time, like that's not good. People are longing, man. They're longing all the way down. And we're pretty close both to the longs and the shorts for liquidations, I suppose. And there's a lot more money to be made on liquidations to the upside, but that doesn't mean we have to go up. Let's look at the short-term stuff, okay? Let's look at the short-term stuff. 1 hour time frame here. I mean, it is very possible. Again, it is very possible this is the low. We're having a proper reaction right now, but it needs to continue. It's not completely done. We need to get above, I would say, let's see. Yeah, we need to get above about 113.5K. If we can get a day to close above 113.5K, I'm somewhat convinced that that's the low at this point, right? I was pretty convinced yesterday that this was the low. Even coming down here, I wouldn't have been worried that we'd go too much lower. Like, this is fine, but it's not giving, right? It's whenever you see a bounce like this, and then you go to the same exact area and you get a weaker bounce, that's not encouraging. Normally, that's not encouraging. So just be aware, you guys. Buyer beware. We very well could drop another $4,000 from here. All right, I have switched. I think I am switching a little bit bearish here. Looking at the RSI, that's a bearish-looking 1 hour RSI. We've got higher highs in the RSI with lower highs in the price. It's hidden bearish divergence, right? Stochastics rejecting the overbought zone. That's not a good look, you guys. 32 minutes left. Let's see how this hour closes. You know, there's a lot of time left. That's not a good look if we close like this. Rejecting the same areas that we've rejected before. We've even rejected back here and back here as well. The MACD kind of looks productive, but you are decaying in bullish momentum right now, which could suggest that we're going lower. I'm assuming, you know, I was thinking this flash crash would be a kind of one and done all at once thing, but it's looking like it's a 2-part, 3-part thing, right? Perhaps, you know, we might be, what's the word I want to look for? Like jackknifing it, or jackhammer, where you're like drilling into like a bunch of times, maybe. Or maybe we'll just get one final drop, and it'll be super fast down to that 108K area and then back up. You know, scare people. We broke the low. Oh no, now this didn't hold, this magical level of 110K. I don't think that we go below 108K. Or if we do, it'd be very minimal amounts and it would be very short-lived. But we'll see. Yes, we could go as low as 108K, if anybody's wondering that. Like, what happened? We were so bullish the other day. I thought we were going to new all-time highs. Well, I thought so too. What's crazy is we could still be at new all-time highs by the end of this month, you guys. With the amount of shorts that are piled on over the past 30 days, I mean, we could just skyrocket that short squeeze is going to be intense. Okay, all the way up to $128,000, $16 billion in shorts to get liquidated. Okay, and it's basically full all the way up until really like 126K. And by the time we move up that high too, there's going to be more shorts piled on. So I mean, we'd be liquidating probably an overall like $20 billion worth of shorts just across these three exchanges. Doesn't mean that it has to happen. Doesn't mean we have to move up. I'm just saying, man, it wouldn't surprise me, right? And it really wouldn't surprise me first if we took out all these longs. That's at about 108.5K, a little bit below 108K. I mean, we would liquidate billions of dollars, almost $4 billion down there in longs. And then we move up, clear out everybody. Nobody's making money unless you're in spot positions. The 4-hour RSI, what I do like is that you're holding support at the RSI at the oversold zone here. But what I don't like is you're finding resistance at the 40. When you do good things, you found support here, but then you found resistance there. Support here, resistance there. Whenever you take your good things and you soil it, whenever you don't take the opportunity takes you. It tends to be the case, and I wouldn't be surprised if we did go lower. The stochastics look sad here. I do like that the orange line, the orange oscillator, is potentially bouncing off the oversold zone, but for that to prevail true, we would need to have a strong finish to today. Okay, so it really does depend. Maybe I'm jumping the gun a little bit, getting bearish right now. Maybe I'm getting bearish at the lows. Don't get me wrong, you guys. Overall, not financial advice, not a financial advisor. Overall, we're heavily anticipating that Bitcoin will see new all-time highs any day now. I mean, it genuinely could be by the end of this month. It's the 25th of August now, so like the next 6 days, right? Let alone maybe like the first week of September. We've got some very bullish prospects ahead of us. But at the moment, and just with this reaction, this is not the reaction I thought we'd get from here. This is not the reaction I thought we'd get from here either, coming back down like this. And that's 3 times in a row. It's like this bullish anticipation that's just not coming to fruition. I think that the markets are scared. I think that there's a lot of people who are scared, but I think that we need to scare them a little bit more. Force that capitulation. I don't know. Call me crazy, but that's my thoughts. The MACD, looking at this here, guys, it was looking like we are going to cross up, but we're rejecting the 0, and that's not good, man. That's a no-no. We'll probably build some bearish momentum, where you see the histogram getting dark red. It's building bearish momentum. Whenever it decays, it's decaying in bearish momentum and then building again. We'll probably get some dark red readings here, but it'll be a higher low kind of scenario, giving us some bullish divergence with the bullish divergence on the oscillators as well, and then getting set up to cross above the 0 line sometime later this week, if not the end of the month, the very, very end of the month, if not sometime in early September. I would think that we do start crossing up, though, on the MACD on the 4-hour time frame before the end of this month. Like, I think it's going to happen between now and the end of this week. But, again, new all-time highs could be reserved for the first week of September at this rate. It depends on how this happens, right? If it's a long, slow, drawn-out process, then maybe it is September that we see new all-time highs. But if it's by the end of the day, we're down there. We close the day down there, and then tomorrow we just erupt through the roof. Okay, cool. We're on to new. It could be a very whirlwind of emotions to come our way over the next like 12 to 24 hours. We're just dropping as I'm talking here, man. Bitcoin's like, you're catching on to me, man. I need to make my move now before you post this video. Don't let the people know. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor, you guys, but I think that we have a little bit more to go. A little bit more to go. We're happy with this bounce, not happy with the results afterwards. And whenever you take good things and you don't take them, right, the other direction tends to be the case. And I would expect that we probably come down a little bit, and that's okay. Daily time frame here. Rejecting the 50 on the RSI, not beneficial. Again, good things, right? You're finding support in these areas that you normally find support. Here you didn't find resistance at the 50. Here you didn't find resistance at the 50. You found support. You're doing the opposite now. Not good. Your stochastics, that sucks. You don't do that, right? Stochastics don't find resistance here. They continue to grow to the overbought zone every single time. That doesn't happen. That's bearish, right? You're looking like you're going to bounce off the 0 with your MACD. You still could. Ultimately, I mean, as long as this orange line's bouncing in this area, I think that's fine. Just above, just below, whatever. But you are building bullish momentum at least, or bullish divergence, I should say, on the MACD and the stochastics. Perhaps you do go a little bit lower on the RSI. Yeah. Anybody who has a problem with that, anybody watching this video, especially the trolls who are like, you have no conviction in your plays. You say one thing one day and then another thing the other day. Yeah, it's called being fluid. You got to be fluid. If you just stick to your guns because you're stubborn, you're going to get steamrolled in this market, okay? You're going to get absolutely steamrolled. And it's okay to be wrong. It's not okay to get steamrolled, right? We're not here to be right or wrong. We're here to make money. And if you think that being right more often than being wrong is what makes you money in this space, that's not how it works, actually, guys. I'll prove it to you, right? I'm sure a lot of you have probably had experience leverage trading, or maybe you haven't, right? Maybe you don't, but let me just share my experience or the experience of people I know. You know, you can be right 10 times in a row leverage trading. You could make 3 or 4x with 10 successful trades in a row, maybe less, maybe more, whatever. And then one trade goes wrong and you lose it all, right? You were right 10 out of 11 times. You have a pretty good track record. But if you don't have good risk management, you're boned and you lose it all. If you're overexposed, you lose it all. And again, it's not, that's just a prime example of it's not about being right or wrong. So I don't care, right? And the idea that you have to have conviction in your plays, yes, I think you should, especially when it comes to long term, have conviction be set and have a lot of requirements to overturn that kind of thought. But when it's the short term stuff, whenever we're trying to call the low at the low and we don't even have results yet to validate that, and we're doing things that are kind of unexpected, I think it's important to remain fluid. I'm not panicking right now. If you guys are following me on X.com, you know I made a post with that movie Old School. Vince Vaughn's like on the he's doing the Iron Cross. He's like still holding, and that's because no matter how low this goes, I'm still going to be holding. I'll be buying more. I'm actually kind of hoping that we do drop lower. I'm hoping we drop even more than I'm expecting because I would love. There's a couple of coins that I would like to get my hands on, or at least more of my hands on. I hope you guys are thinking the same. For anybody who's in their second or third cycle or more, like me, um, you're probably not worried at all. If this is your first cycle and you're feeling a little bit of fear, that's okay, right? Just sit through the fear. Go to sleep. Wake up in a month. You'll be okay. All right, I promise you. I guess I can't promise. Nothing's guaranteed, but I would very much believe, you know, being that this is my third cycle, I've seen this before. This is that moment, that final kind of drop, that capitulative moment that happens. It scares people out of the markets, and then we pump, right? We just got to clear out these longs. That's my thoughts, man. Anyways, hit the like button, subscribe. Bitcoin will be at new all-time highs soon enough, my friends. The ultimate target destination is about $180,000. Still probably by the end of September, if not sometime in October. I do expect that when we pick up the pace, when we start to move up, and perhaps the reason why we're taking so much time messing around here is because I think whenever we do move up, we're going to move at a faster pace than we've seen really all year. We haven't to the likes of which we haven't seen since 2024, back in November there. We're going to be moving up at a very, very fast pace, right? April to May, June, that was fun, right? Even a little bit here going into July was fun, but that's small potatoes compared to what's coming, okay? I got nothing else. Hit the like button, subscribe, take care of yourselves, all right? And buy the dip. Bye-bye.